Hello everyone, welcome to this stream which is going to be about Terraform AWS modules. And my name is Anton Dobenko, and let me be honest with you immediately. I have not prepared for this stream at all. So everything what I will do today will be coming from my brain without pretty much any preparation. The reason why I want to make this stream today is that there were quite a few issues inside of Terraform AWS modules, and I want to go through them and maybe fix some of them, maybe answer some questions, and we'll see how it goes. The time limit which I have, at least I think right now, is about 1.5 hours. And I will see how it goes. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to write them in comments, and I will try to answer them during the stream. And yeah, that's how it is. So let's get started. Let me know how the volume is, by the way, because I have changed some setup today, of course, 5 minutes before stream. So let's start. Okay, so oh yeah, right, I work for a company called BetaJob, and BetaJob is a company specialized in specifically Terraform, AWS and DevOps consultancy around the globe. We do a lot of open source, well, not a lot, but pretty much exclusively 100% of what we do is open source. And you can find more information about what we do, how we do this. One of our services is actually related to Terraform AWS module support, which I will be going through today. And also we do quite a lot related to serverless in Terraform, so that's also quite interesting for us. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time introducing different things and saying how things work. Let's just get into this immediately. Okay, so the first thing which I want to do is specify the scope of what I can do, or what I think I can do. There are a lot of Terraform AWS modules hosted on GitHub. There are a few of modules which I don't have enough experience or possibility to work and to explain how things work. So one of these module is actually Elastic Kubernetes service, which has been created by different community members, and I'm not one of them. So I'm not going to go through a lot of details about how EKS work and why and fix issues. I can see that there are quite a few issues right now, but there are a lot of people who can do this, so they're doing a very good job. What I can do is that I can go through other issues, modules, and fix them. I have few issues already kind of popping up from time to time, so I put them onto my bookmarks list, and when this bookmark list is getting too long, then you know what I do, I remove these folders to have more space for my bookmarks here. So let's start with the first one. The first one, which was opened multiple times, it's related to Terraform AWS modules. Terraform AWS Lambda module. And more specifically, as I can see, the problem is that multiple users cannot work with the same resource, because Lambda function try to change timestamp. Well, that's pretty interesting, and I'm not sure that what exactly the problem is. So let me see this comment. Okay, so the person said that when there are 2 or more users are applying this resource, the archive timestamp will be different. Well, that's not good at all. So I left comment saying that there is a workaround for that, to specify tf recreate missing lambda package equal false, but as I can see, Roman Rusakov said that it does not help. Well, that's not good that it doesn't help, but let's see. Okay, so the first thing which I can do here is that I can actually go to my IDE and let's see, just where is it? Right, okay, so I'm inside of my IntelliJ right now. Let me go to Lambda example. So what I'm gonna to do, I'm gonna to try to reproduce this this behavior by just calling examples multiple times. So there are a few examples which I can use. The one which is complete, which is a little bit too big for this, I usually use simple. So what simple does is just specifying lambda function. Okay, so I will call this function here and I will create this resource. I don't need the rest, I guess, because it's not related to the issue itself. I specify that I want to build from this source path, so it's going to be one function. Okay, yeah, the rest is not needed. This is usually a place where we do some sort of experiments with it. Okay, so here I can go to my terminal. Hopefully you can see it well. Okay, let's see. Oh no, that's too bad. There is no autocomplete. Well, bash profile cannot found complete. Well, that's bad. Vault exec. So I need to set some credentials. Of course, it's asking me for MFA, which is a little bit tricky right now because I have so many of them that I sometimes put incorrect one. Let's see if this is correct. Well, this is correct. Good. Okay, so I go to Terraform AWS Lambda examples, simple Terraform init. Nothing fancy so far. And if I run Terraform apply, it should tell me very small things has to be created, like just 8 resources, more specifically lambda function. So the resource which is triggering the build for the person who opened this issue was null resource archive. So null resource, no, not this one, null resource archive. It has this timestamp. Okay, that's I don't remember timestamps by heart, but let's create. When I'm working in isolated environment like now, I usually don't care what's gonna to happen, because if there is even something bad things gonna to be created, it's ephemeral and I will easily get rid of them. So it's like very good sandbox for me. Okay, so I created one. If I now run it again, it should not try to recreate it, though there may be some calls to data sources. Like in this case, it's going to call data source IAM policy document, which is fine. Okay, so that's okay. So as one person, I managed to create things which I wanted. Okay, so now let's see what kind of values were actually used inside of that. What was it? Yes. Okay. So this file inside of builds folder. If I now go to builds folder, I should see, well, I see a lot of files, including DE, this one, right? So this one, and this is plan JSON file. This plan JSON file actually contains information about this module dependencies, like where exactly source is located, and runtime and artifact dir. This is necessary to be able to run plan without having a physical file in place. So if we don't have this file, it's okay, it will be recreated, but zip archive is actually containing the source code. So now what I want to do is that if I go to, let's say I'm gonna to put okay, if I make another folder inside of simple, and I call it let's say user2, because this is where user2 will, and I say okay, user2 tf, so what we have there is the same code. We don't need too much, we can just simplify it significantly here. Meanwhile, if you have any things or any questions or issues which are let's say more relevant to you guys, please feel free to leave comment and I will try to go through them as well. Okay, so I delete a lot of comments just to make it easier to work with. So I'm gonna to call this function one more time, and what I want to do is that I want to make sure that this user2 is not recreating this. Okay, so to do that, oh well, I need to point it to correct Terraform state file, which is well, it's a little bit too much to do for such backend local, what is it, file, no, config, no. I don't remember this one, but what is it, file dir, no, workspace dir config. Well, I need to go to documentation. Luckily documentation is not far away from me, so well, documentation is actually quite far because I don't remember where is it. Let's start from here. Configuration language, state, remote state, backends, backend types, local, right, pos. Okay, it's called pos. That's what I wanted. Okay, so it's going to be pos, and relative to, so from this folder it's going to be one level up Terraform TF state, right? So I want to use the same pos, and since I have the same code, it should not try to recreate it. Okay, so here is what I have. I have backend configuration, which is inside of user2. So if I now run, if I go to this user2 and run Terraform init there and run Terraform apply, source path of course is wrong because it should be like one level up, I guess. Well, that's always challenging to find correct unsupported arguments. Oh right, yeah, right, of course I need to also specify where the source is. It's also one level up. Okay, source. Alright, so I need to init again, apply. So now a few things will change. Let's see if this is correct or not. Okay, so the thing here is that it's actually triggering new change because path configuration has changed, not just timestamp, but also this path has changed. So to make it better, I mean, if two people use different source for the function, that's obviously not going to work. So let me hard code it to always the same. So this is where my stuff is. Lambda / examples. Okay, so this is 1, and the same I should put into here, right? Examples, fixtures, yes, should be good. Okay, so now if I just recreate this, well, I don't need this. Apply. So if I'm going to recreate this change, it should try to rebuild this one more time because path changed. That's okay. And now if I go to user 2 and run apply here, I think it should be the same. At least path should not trigger new thing. Okay, now it's much better. Now it says just 2 to add, 1 to change, 1 to destroy, which is much better. And what exactly is missing here? Right, okay, I see. Okay, let's go one by one line here. Maybe make it bigger. So data source is okay, we can skip it, though there are a few things related to path, which is now different. So that's why it may be, if it's used in hash computation, then it will trigger change as well, but I don't think it is a problem now. So what I can see here is a timestamp is in fact different, but that's okay. Let's move on here. What is actually AWS Lambda function will be updated in place. That's also quite predictable because there is no plan file. So plan file, as I said, is different. So it's using different location. So plan file contains information about what is actually gonna to be built from, and then it's actually trying to create new archive with new hash. Okay, that's quite obvious. So what I want to do now is that I want to specify build directory where to store this. So where to store, well, I think it's in complete build build. Well, if I use any other example, so what I want to find is that I want to see where this build directory is defined. Well, it's been a while since I used this module myself, so I look like noob, but that's okay. My son thinks that noob is a bad word, so don't tell him otherwise. Okay, let's see. When I don't know what I'm looking for, I'm just going to look into variables and see builds. Okay, artifacts dir, it's called. Directory where artifacts should be stored. Exactly. So I want to point that user 2 and user should actually keep artifacts in one location. Otherwise, they will all obviously try to recreate it. So artifacts, let's put it to, well, I don't need a lot of this, just to simplify it. So if I put again all of these examples, so I kind of use absolute pause here, just to show that pause at least is not triggering this diff. So inside of examples there is folder, let's say inside of examples, inside of simple, there will be folder called builds. Okay, that's should be fine. Not inside of each of this, you see right now, but I want to use this one. So here I'm also using the same directory, and I can remove this one. Okay, so now if I go to, if I now apply this one, just to make sure that artifacts directory is used, by default it's making this builds directory. Okay, good, so now it's using full pause here. And then if I go to user 2, and if I go to apply it, it should now use the same directory. Well, it says here that file file will be, let's see, where is it? So yeah, 2 to add, 1 to change. So it's gonna to create inside of that directory and this zip archive, this hash. Okay, so let's say yes. So now it is created. Okay, what I can do now is that I want to go to, well, it's a little bit too much here. Okay, let me just, I thought that there are very few files, but in fact, since this is examples, there are a lot of them. So I'm going to leave 287 and 26 because this is something what has been created so far. So 287 has been created by user 2, and 2b6, no. Okay, one more time. It's better to have clean place when I run such things. So yeah, this kind of example is pretty advanced, so I need to prepare a lot of things outside of it, and just to make sure that what the state of your infrastructure has been saved. Well, what is it? Has been saved to the path below. This state is required to modify and destroy you. Keep it saved. Well, okay, I will keep it safe. Is this it? Probably. Okay, anyway, so now I have 287 created as well as plan. So here is file name, hard-coded URLs everywhere, not URL, sorry, path, and zip archive. So if I now go to another folder, and if I run it now, what I should see here, well, it's trying to recreate it, and it's trying to do, right, so it's trying to actually change content of this file. So that's not exactly the issue which this person specified. So now if I look into this content here, I can see that plan has been different. That's why the hash file of the file itself is also different. So it says 2b6, and that's why it created 2b6. Well, another, I forgot this command right now, but I believe that these files are actually different too. The reason for that is that there can be some like even if it's 1 byte difference, then it's already new hash. And yeah, so this means that I couldn't reproduce this issue with this example. I probably need to spend more time looking into let's see, looking into origins of this issue. So this guy said that file name was the same, but only timestamp was different. So that's why it only says that new file or null resource archive will be created with the same file name. So and let's see, my proposed solution here was to use this tf recreate missing lambda package equal false. So now if I run it again, it should not tell me anything. But if I go to to user2 folder and then run this command, will it help? Well, that's not a problem. Data source. So inside of user2, and if I run, so I set this environment variable, which is actually used inside of null resource. No, it didn't help because it says that a file name has to be changed. Well, okay, I will look into this later myself, like after the stream, because it's not so obvious what actually is the problem. I assume that the problem can be related to the way how package JSON, or sorry, package Py script works and how it identify that hash has to be updated. So it is actually taking into account this file. So yeah, we'll look into this one later. So problem not solved. Okay, so this means that this issue will still stay here, and I will look into it. Okay, let's look into another one. You see how easy is it to fix issues? So no, this is it. No, sorry, this one. Yeah, so this issue is convert dynamic tags to allow empty values. Yeah, this is pretty interesting one. I think there was an issue opened by one of user who said that, yeah, he wanted to have empty value. Well, I didn't even think about this, that people may need to have empty value, but he explained why he needed, and that it doesn't work for him. And then Bryant actually looked into it and fixed it. So let's see how he fixed it. Okay, so he updated example, which is really cool, because without example it's just impossible to figure out what he verified and how he expected this to be used. Then he put into locals these tags, so dynamic tags. Right, yeah, there is some, I saw this this related issue or complaint by someone else who said that tags and tag actually expect different type of input values inside. So as you can see, tags here and tag here, they're two different things. What we had before is that we concatenated one list and with another list with another list. Okay, and now we do the same thing, but we use tags for that. Okay, it looks pretty easy and looks pretty good to me, at least from code point of view. And luckily there are a lot of people who write code like on daily basis, and I don't have to verify it carefully or discuss how things has to be working. So now let's go to that one. Yeah, unfortunately Lambda was not easy to fix. I spent half hour already and have not made it, so let's see. Auto, no. Auto scaling. Examples, okay. So if I'm now, I think I use GitHub PR checkout. Yeah, and then I should specify 190 because this is issue number. Okay, so here is it. So GitHub, this is GitHub CLI, which I slowly using instead of Hub, which was pretty good before, but this one supposed to be better, but just a little bit different syntax. So GitHub PR checkout 119. Now go to examples, and which example was it? It was examples ACG EC2. Okay. All right, and now run Terraform init here. It's been a while since I ran this example before, so most likely I've been using even previous version of Terraform here. Anyway, now if I run Terraform apply, and I can see that there are a bunch of different resources created, which is fine, not really interesting. I'm interested in these pieces, so I can see that key, foo, and bar are actually empty. They don't have any value here. Well, I don't know if it's going to work because, well, I simply didn't have use case for empty tags before. So, but this was specified on which resource? On autoscaling group resource, and it seems to work. So what I can do now is that I can go to AWS CLI, again AWS Vault, login Vault. So now I have this amazing browser open here. I go to EC2 and I can see that there is one running instance, and if I go to, no, sorry, to not to load balancers, to autoscaling groups. So I guess this is it. Tags, environment name, project, and then bar and foo. Cool. So now you can have empty value here, and also, as I can see, tag new instances has been propagated. So there should be at least one instance running now with this tags. Yes, correct, 2 empty things. Amazing. So this works as expected. I can just run Terraform destroy. So if I now run Terraform destroy, it's going to destroy all kind of things, including this resource, this instance, sorry. So while it's doing something like destroying it, I can go to this issue and just click. So this one looks pretty good. Add your review. Well, I sometimes add review if there is anything to say, but in this case it looks no question, no problem, so I'm just squash, which is, well, not the best way I was told, but I don't know any better way. If you know if there is any point in not squashing public comments by any people, then please raise it. I'm not sure that this is actually so bad, because quality of code which comes from different people is so different that it's just impossible to predict. And yeah, not everyone is following a lot of standards, not everyone is experienced with GitHub so much. Okay, so it's still destroying this instance and autoscaling group. Just go to another. Okay, yes, it's soon to be finished. Destruction complete, it says. So this one at least we fixed quite fast. That's good. Oh no, it's still destroying. Okay, now it's done. Cool. So now if I go to the parent folder of this one, and if I go to what is it, GitHub checkout 119. Well, I can probably somehow merge from CLI, but I don't know, still using GitHub CLI how to do this, so I'll do this old-fashioned GitHub checkout master git pull. And another thing which I also need to do is I need to run git release master. Well, that's too bad. That's really too bad. Okay, I can switch my terminal to something what I really use on daily basis, which is iterm2 and not embedded into IntelliJ. Here at least I have a lot of autocomplete enabled. So if I use git release master function in my shell, and then I can say this line, yes, and I say thanks. Okay, cool. So this is now fixed, and this means I can go to the next one. Okay, so this one was very straightforward. Yes, when I close this issue, I also sometimes have to ping this guy who opened this issue and say that this has been fixed in 19, so please make sure to use which has been just released. Yeah. Okay. Good. So the next one is, we can delete this one, multiple users. Oh yeah, right. Okay, I have this already here, which is duplication. Good. Create only. Oh yeah, that's huge one. Okay, maybe let's see. Maybe it is complicated, and I can skip it for now. So the problem with this one is it create only required number of NAT gateways. So when I hear something from people who use VPC module where they say that hey, there is a bug because this creates more NAT gateways than public subnets, I wonder, like I always have to question whether this was a normal use case or some edge case which I simply have to say that sorry, this is not supported and will never be supported. But in this case, this, at least like when I read this for the first time now, I think this is pretty good use case, because there is actually a description motivation. In case we have number of private subnets, elastic cache subnets and blah 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 subnets greater than public subnets, this module creates more NAT gateways than really need. This leads some public subnets has multiple NAT gateways. Yeah, this is obvious, and there are no sensible reasons for such configuration and money wasting. Well, makes perfect sense to me. Let's see, current user may encounter that some of their NAT gateways will be destroyed. Well, but this is a bug fix which definitely has to be fixed. So I think if we go with this solution, then yes, people will have to improve their infrastructure. Did you have chance to look? No, I didn't. Okay, so now let's go to this code change and see what he's actually trying to do. So we have NOT gateway count, where we actually look into a number of NOT gateways which we have to create. So if there is single NOT gateway, then it's always one. If one per AZ, then we count AZs, because AZs actually should be unique. If not one per AZ, then we look into max subnet lengths, which is defined above, the highest of the, or the greatest of these four, and if this is less than public subnets, then use that one, correct? Or else we use var public subnets. Well, looks good so far. Okay, when we do private routes, so there are many routes. There are as many routing tables as the number of NOT gateways. So we have private subnets more than 0. Well, why private subnet? Why just private subnet? Why not all other subnets? We have also database. Okay, but if we look into just private subnets, what we have here, we have if private subnets were defined and var single NOT gateway, well, single NOT gateway is true, then it's 1, else I really hate sometimes these expressions, like okay, I think the point here is when we have a lot of, or when we have any private subnets, then we take into account number of private subnets, and that's it. So if we have 5 of them, and we have how many NOT gateways we have? Okay, so this one is going to be used here. Well, this is not correct, because here we take care about route table for private subnet, which is well, private subnet is used for many different reasons. Okay, let's check out this source code locally. Cool, inside of this IDE or terminal, which is at VPC. Git pull. There are few other pull requests. Also, pull request checkout 492. Okay, so here this code is on my local machine. So one more time, what I have here. So he changed line 205 inside of main TF 205. Okay, so my first assumption here is that even if this logic is going to work, it has to be duplicated or expand into other places, because maybe we create database. Yeah, we have well, yeah, it will take ages for me to figure out what's going on here, really. When I created this, it was like 2019. Well, it's not so long time ago. Anyway, I forgot about how this was designed to be implemented. Anyway, there are a bunch of different subnets here, and we are creating one routing table for them all the time. But what he is also proposing to change is line 960. This one, where private NAT gateway is right. So previously it was taking into account local NAT gateway count. So we created, let's say, from 0 to, or from 1 to many routes. Yeah, that's how it was. And now he is proposing to change from NAT gateway count to take into account number of private subnets. Well, okay, fine. What if we look into, well, it should be still not private gateway, because there we take into account single NAT gateway option. So this is kind of wrong. I mean, this was correct here. The point is that when we enable NAT gateway, then we take number of NAT gateways from this local variable, which I think is correct now. So I really like that here, and there is no need to change actually anything here and here. Okay, that's my first assumption. So I would think that this line, this 961 and 205 change, they are not necessary. So now I have more or less understanding of what is going on. Oh my god, there are 18 other pull requests. Some of them are even more complicated. So if I look into example code now, there I should be able to find one which is probably simple. VPC is good starting point. Okay, yeah, his example is very similar. I'm really glad when people put these examples, and it gives me pretty much all information which I need. So huge thanks to Evgeny. Okay, I guess Evgeny is a similar name. Okay, thanks Evgeny for that. Now let me put some information here. So seeder blocks, private subnets, and public subnets. So in first example, we're going to have just two values here, and we need, well, we don't need IPv6, we don't need tags. We're going to make single NAT gateway. Okay, that should be easy. Now go to examples, simple VPC, Terraform init. Cool. Okay, what is this? All right, yeah, this is pretty cool. I just see that here I'm mentioning availability zone by name as well as availability zone by ID, which, if you didn't know, name may be different than ID. So for example, for some AWS account, EU West 1A may match EUV1 AZ3, for example. So if you always need to have guarantee that you have the same subnet all the time, you should use availability zone IDs like this format. Okay, now I want to create it. I can actually keep talking while it's creating, because creation of NAT gateway is not the fastest operation. Okay, with VPC creation, usually it doesn't make a lot of sense to review all of this, because at the best it will tell you known after apply. Well, that's not exactly helpful for me right now, so I'm quite happy that it's executing somehow. And I can see that there will be one elastic IP address, and there will be just one NAT gateway. So this gives me pretty good like assumption that single NAT gateway is respected. Okay, so it's going to create it. Meanwhile, I can go to this one should be gone. Yes, it is terminated. So here, if I go to VPC, and on this view, if I look into my VPCs now, I should see VPC name, and something is created here, NAT gateways, route table. Well, for this case, it will be quite easier to see. So default route table, we are not going to use it, but we are going to look into this too. Well, I cannot expand this apparently. That's live. That's live. Okay, now it is almost there. Let's create route. Cool. So this gives me a pretty good understanding that if I look into this route table, this is private. Yes, this is now private route table, and this is public. So there are 2 subnets and 3 subnets. That's how we want it. And we have one NAT gateway. So NAT gateway from private has route. Everything goes through NAT gateway, which is correct. So let me go to the source code and actually roll back changes on line 960. I guess that was it. So if I look into his code here, so yes, it was not gateway count 960. Yes, I guess not gateway count here, as well as on 205. I guess I can go to like this. Yes. So here, if I use the same max subnet length. Well, again, we are making a route table for private based on information from max subnet length. So I think this is correct. We don't need to compare just private subnet. So max subnet length more than 0. Then we use local NAT gateway count. So that's, for me, this seems identical right now. So if I run apply now, it should tell me that nothing should be changed, because this is correct. I may have to change it and to test it with few other options like database subnets, so let me do that as well. So inside of this private subnet, I will also make what I want. I want database subnet, and I will make it let's say, no, not 2, but 5, 6 and 7, and I want to make it longer, right? So I need to think about what I call how I call it even. I call it asymmetric, right? I call it asymmetric. I don't know why I call it asymmetric. I think it's quite cool. So 24. Okay, so now what I should have is that there should be changes like new subnet created, as well as route table Route table also should be updated. Well, subnet, 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 route table for database, route table association per each subnet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as subnet group, which is not relevant for this case. So this is rather correct. Okay, this should be very fast. So if I go to routing tables now, so all this now goes to well, subnet association is all of this. Yes, all of this include private and database are using this subnet. There is an option to change it, but we don't need it right now. What is edge association? Oh my god, I have no clue what is edge association. So something new. Okay, so this is fine for this asymmetric use case. So now what I want to do is that and let's look into his example. Okay, so I reverted these lines because I think it's not necessary, and I look into that one. Okay, so now actually the problem case, when I have more public subnets. Oh no, wait, we need to get rid of single NOT gateway because we don't need single, right? We want to make sure that now the bug will be reproduced and we will have 2 NOT gateways. No, we will have, how many we will have? We will have, this is 1. Yeah, we will have 2. Okay. Okay. So now it will create just another one, and it will have output IP address, so which is point. Sometimes I feel that it's much easier for me to work with these modules if I have, let's say, the whole day dedicated to just one module. Then I can kind of understand how things work, how they relate to each other much better, because I have not been using VPC module myself for a very long time. I mean, I use it daily, but I remember what kind of arguments I need to pass or where to look for examples. I don't look into source code of it so often. Okay, now it will make some more progress here. And are there any questions? No, it looks like everything is so quiet. Okay. So now it is still creating. Yeah, it has actually updated NOT gateway, and the reason for that one is that I was using indexes here because there were no ways to use for each. But I definitely see the point of using for each here, so that every time when you change something in your network, you don't want to delete and then create it with the same ID, with the same purpose, same integration. But yeah, that's how it is. Okay, so now it will take some time, and it will finish soon. One NOT gateway has been already created. Okay. Yeah, the second one will be added soon too. So if I go to to this one. Okay. So here what I have right now, I have 3 and 4. So these 3 are going to be used for for, no, this is, yeah, for private, and this one, yeah, right, I override it. Yes, okay, so this NOT gateway 09 here and 01. Okay, so there are 7 subnets divided into 2 NOT gateways, which is how it should be done. I think it's again, yeah, I think it is correct. We have DB, we have private, and they are connected. So private here. So one private goes there, one private goes to another NOT gateway. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, I think it is fine. So now let's look into a problematic part. Actually, when we have more public subnets than private subnets. So for that example, we don't need database subnets at all, because we are going to have, well, we can have it, but let's put it without them first. So for that one, we need to have, let's say, we remove this one, and I'm going to add, how many? Oh, okay, yeah, 3 is necessary, so 3 is enough. So 102, 103 here. Okay, now if I run this one, it will delete, like, I don't know, 10 resources easily. No, maybe even more, about 15 resources. No, just 11. Okay. So yeah, bunch of database related stuff is not needed, of course. So what we have right now here, we have, if we refresh this one, so we have just 2 networks, and we should have, how many NOT gateways we should have? Just 2. That's correct. So we have just 2 NOT gateways created. We have more public subnets. I think it can actually be like similar. If I add another database subnet, and I should have, let's say, public subnets should be longer than combined private and database. So in this case, if I apply this right now, what I expect to see is just creation of subnet, not new NOT gateways. If this is going to be working, then that's correct, that's fine. Oh my god, 5 to add. So what we have here, subnet, routing table, subnet group, fine. So we have not created new NOT gateways. So that's exactly what this issue was about, and I think the issue is now fixed. We have private, database, 3 in total. 3 is less than 4, which is correct. Yeah, that's unfortunate. The problem is a database subnet, create database subnet group. This is a problem. Database subnet group false. Yeah, there are a few requirements, like it has to meet availability group coverage, so it has to be more than 1. I don't care about database subnet group right now, so just skip this. But often when you see this kind of error message, you have no clue where in Terraform this problem is coming from. Okay, good. So 3 less than 4, that's okay. If I now use single NOT gateway, I expect 1 NOT gateway to be removed, and the rest of routing and routes to be rebalanced. Right, so routing table association changed, another one routing table is removed, and route to private is removed, NOT gateway is removed, and IP removed. Okay, so that looks good. no need to apply that one, because this is quite easy use case. Okay, so to conclude, what we have here is that this fix for routing table for private is not needed, as well as on line 960, I guess. Yes, this one is also not needed because we respect this number. And this is really an important fix where we have if single NAT gateway, then we respect that. And yeah, okay, good. I think I understand this better now. So maybe it's a good idea to look into other pull requests from this. Sorry, example simple destroy. Now there can be some bad things happening because destroying of resources in VPC is sometimes not working because there are edge cases related to internet gateway association, but since I haven't done too much with it, it should be fine. Okay, good. So I will commit this code change now and say that it looks good. Yeah, right. I even said I have a feeling that this pull request is not 100% correct. Yes. So now I spent some time and actually verified that some things are not correct. Oh, maybe I have to write update branch to get something new from master branch. Who knows? Who knows what's new there? Not much. Okay, looking into other things. What else can be done? Just deleting more stuff and releasing this one. Okay, I also have to run pre-commit to make sure that documentation and formatting is correct. I could skip this step because it is automatically going to be run during commit phase, but I like to run it before, just to make sure that things are in order. And yeah, here is git commit. Well, simple example. Is it good? Yes, it is. It is good to be committed so that I can later go through this as well. So fixes for unnecessary. I have no clue if it's written correct. Then I'm not going to write this. Fix for routes and route tables. Well, again, documentation is refreshed, which I guess is correct. I can run git pull as well. No, sorry, I cannot run git pull. I need to run git commit again. And now I can run auto update to make sure that because I recently changed something in pre-commit Terraform, just to make sure that I use latest version. Okay, so now it looks good. So git push to this pull request. Okay, and as I can see here, I always review before merging that things are actually in order. So here is example which I was using, and this is the most important line here. Looks good. So I'm gonna to merge this one and say thanks to the author. Tick. I like to say that let me know if I'm wrong, because I may be wrong, and maybe I spent not enough time looking into this pull request, but I did my best. Okay, so now this issue is fixed. Let's look into something else. Well, I actually don't want to look into VPC module anymore, so let me delete this one from this issue. Create bucket ACL policy. Oh my god. Well, yeah, let's look into it. I was really surprised to see that S3 buckets module was actually so useful for many people. It's honestly a very big surprise for me, because when I started working on it, it was, I think, the first module which I used with Terraform 0.12, and I was sitting in hotel and working on some Terraform modules, and I wanted to make this module so much that in previous version of Terraform it took me, like potentially took me about 2,000 or 3,000 lines of code to support the same functionality, and anyway it wouldn't be so flexible. But here I use Terraform 0.12 features, and it's quite elegant to my mind, and it supports pretty much, the point here was that support all or almost all features provided by Terraform AWS provider. And I use it quite extensively as well to, let's say, S3 bucket configurations with notifications to Lambda functions and so on. Okay, so let's look into this source code. So first of all, this pull request was open 22 days ago. Well, that's not so long time ago, but still I need to review this, and I want to review it now. So I go to this S3 bucket, git pull, now GitHub PR checkout 44, but before that one, oh yeah, right, yeah, 44 is fine. Cool. So what I can see here, add bucket ACL policy grants, add ability to provide grant statement blocks, updated pre-commit, update complete examples to add CloudFront log bucket example. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, grant is useful in scenarios when setting up access for CloudFront to write logs to your bucket or with cross-account access. Well, that's pretty cool to have this support, but I wish to have more complete example here, because example is something what I'm gonna to run, and this example here is gonna to create CloudFront log bucket, which is cool, but I probably will have to expand it and actually integrate CloudFront bucket as well in this example, so it will be more complete. CloudFront module actually got some updates during this week. I worked on some of features there. Okay, so now let's look into this pull request. I feel that this pull request is quite good, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but anyway, let's update some latest pre-commit, because it has changed. Yes, it has changed. Also, let me look into another things related to pre-commit, which is, sorry, where is it? Yes, it is this one. No, I can actually take the whole file. So what I have in this file is pre-commit Terraform hooks. I added Terraform lint to make sure that all code is properly formatted. It's quite easy to add or to update right now, so that all modules which I push, I add this functionality with TF-lint integrations step by step. I don't want to do this on all modules at the same time, but I add this on all new modules which I work. Actually, I forgot to do this for autoscaling group. But here, what it means is that if I now go to, if I now run run, it will tell me a lot about different issues. Most of these issues are quite easy to fix. I know about them already, but I think it's really helpful to have this code at least formatted correctly, and all files are named properly, and commenting is everywhere. In fact, I feel that some of these TF-lint rules were kind of inspired from different places which I published during several years. So all of this naming and outputs, descriptions, and so on is actually taken into account. So what I need to do here is that I need to go to required versions, and I need to put this file somewhere. Of course, I'm not going to write this from scratch. I'm going to steal this code from somewhere else, and I have enough places. Yes, I have empty variables files and versions file, which I'm going to put inside of examples, and I need to make sure that versions is more than 3. Versions more than 3.0, and a random provider is used. So this is quite boring part. It's not related to this pull request, but I feel that it's not big deal that I add these files in the same pull request, simply because I don't have better ways to do this in more automated way yet. But there will be some changes here down the line related to GitHub Actions. So if I now have this everywhere, I have this everywhere now. So if I now run this again, it should not complain about this, but it should complain about comments. Yes, it doesn't like comment like this. So where is it? It's in main TF. Well, it's only in main TF, which is quite easy to fix. So in main TF, it has to be with this hash sign. So if I now search for this, it's here, and then here. You see, I'm not good with auto replace. Because last time when I did auto replace, I used to spend more time figuring out what I should replace it back when it changed http:// So here is it. Well, of course I can change it, and I can, maybe I have to, because there are a little bit more places, but I'm almost done. Okay, so if I run it again, it should tell me a little bit. Single line comment should begin with, yes, I know. Okay, so that's inside of main. Yes, it's here. And then it's null resource inside of download package. Which one is it? I guess it is here somewhere. No. Notification maybe. Well, where is null resource here? Yes, here is null resource. So I need to specify that null resource of version 2, I guess 2, is required. And if I run this one more time, it says that it's almost there. Okay, cool. I add a bunch of files. Kind of not related to this pull request, but as I said, there is not much what I can do right now. Okay, so here I apply. Yes. Okay, now let's look into what is actually this thing gonna to do. Example complete. So CloudFront log bucket. We are creating bucket and we say ACL null conflict with default ACL private. So set to null to use grants. Well, how can we do this? We can leave it like this. ACL null is probably good, but also what if we change default value of ACL to be not private but to be null? Well, this will break change for many people, not good to do. And actually, I like that it's actually quite explicit that ACL is disabled because grants are enabled. So I think it's fine here. Okay, looking into the source code one more time, into examples main. Here is it. We have grant for canonical users, and here is some reference. So CloudFront wants to configuring and using standard logs, access logs. Well, that's pretty cool diagram. I was also surprised that there is this limitation, like these new regions which were created, I don't know, 1 year ago, or when Middle East has been created, I think more than 1 year ago. Don't choose Amazon S3 bucket in any of the following regions. Well, why not to Middle East? Strange. But okay, ACL, here is it. Yes, so here is it. Add ACL permissions for AWS log delivery manually. You must provide canonical user. So this is usually what I verified, like values. Sometimes we copied it with mistakes, so it's kind of important to make sure that it's there. Okay, so far it looks good. We give full control to this canonical user who is running Terraform right now, as well as we allow CloudFront to deliver logs into this bucket. That's actually answering my question, which I had another day when I was working with CloudFront module. So if I now go to examples, complete, and I run init, and I run apply, and as someone told me that they really like that there is support for public access block resource, so that you can pass few values into this module and then your bucket is secure. Well, it's kind of cool if it works. Okay, here we are. So we have created this resource. I guess there is no state, so it will be no problem if we refresh it. So the state is managed centrally using just Terraform, and when we attach CloudFront as destination bucket, this resource will not be changed. Okay, I like this quite much. Now let me look into another module. So if this thing works, then let me look into CloudFront, there is example, and then inside of CloudFront, what I want to do, I also, yes, here is it. That's actually a good question. So I have it in comments for myself, which ACL for CloudFront. Well, now I can tell you that ACL should be null, as far as I understand, and there has to be, where is it? This one, yeah, this is example. Yeah, and this grant has to be specified. Okay, so I'm actually changing it in two places simultaneously. And of course, I'm not gonna to use this module immediately, because I can, or I actually can do this as well. So let me finish this first. Okay, it looks good, it works. Well, I guess it works. Another thing which I want to check is which version we have grant supported. So grant support took, I think, several years. I'm not kidding about years. Well, it's not in CloudFront, it's in S3. In S3 we have grant. So now let's look into this resource changelog, because this is quite interesting. So S3 bucket, and if we look into grant, okay, good that it's not version 3 when this feature was introduced, but I'm quite sure that it was not very long time ago. Grant. Well, my computer is almost dying. Here is it, add grant. So version 2.52.0, which is well, half a year ago. Okay, so I need to make sure that the whole module now is using version 2. Well, we are using version 3, which is even better. Right? Yes, it's much better. Okay, we are using version 3 all the time. Okay, that's quite good. So we don't have to do any changes related to minimum version required for this feature to be supported. Okay, good. So now let's merge this code. It was, as I said, quite easy and quite straightforward. Destroy this one. And I will want to make this change right now in CloudFront to add better support for CloudFront features. Okay, so what I have a lot of things changed. Primarily it was related to updated pre-commit and pretty much nothing new. So here we have, yeah, this was pretty yeah, we even celebrated this. So when Andrei opened this issue, it was, well, certainly a long time ago, and then there were lots of discussions how this can be implemented and why it's right way or bad way. It was back and forth. Yeah, and then pretty much everyone I know participated in this from different angles. Okay, and so now we push this one and git checkout master. Now if I go to this pull request just to review that things are okay here. Well, it can be actually no, it's okay. I was thinking to simplify it a little bit so that when the user specify grants, he could specify what type of grants he wants, like enable CloudFront logs equal true, for example. But I don't think this is really necessary. It's better to have it explicit here so people can see, oh, okay, that's what canonical user we are using. Okay, so Well, yeah, another thing which is related to this example is that it has to be updated in documentation. So configuration in this directory creates buckets which demos such capabilities. Access login for S3 and ELB. Okay, so also there is support for grants. Grants. Okay, and this is required for CloudFront logs. At least this kind of information should help people to understand okay, where they can use it. Updated docs. Oh, sorry, I pushed it to master. Well, never do this. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of at least now you know how to not do this. Okay, yeah, sometimes I disable push to master because I want to have few things, I like few places where this can be managed, but in this case it should be not a big deal really. Add bucket ACL policy grants. Well, add the git pull, and now git release. Okay, yes, thanks brand, and okay, yeah, that was it. Good, so this one is fixed now here. Well, now let's go to CloudFront examples and apply the same change there. So inside of CloudFront, okay, here is the code. So this log bucket is going to be used inside of login, prefix CloudFront. Well, I think it's fine. So we are creating this bucket. We have grant given to that bucket, and then we don't need full control. Well, I don't know if we need it. Maybe we need it. Let's see what is actually canonical user ID. Right, so I think we need this resource as well, just to be able to give ourselves full access, so that this user has full access to. So this is ACM S3 bucket. Okay. Okay. So now if I run init here, so now if I run apply, it says, well, unsupported argument. That's kind of cool that it knows that this is not supported. Let's see if we run it now. It's still unsupported. But what if we now tell like this? No, init first, and which module it's going to do, 1.13, which is new one. Okay, so now if I run apply, it should tell that something is going to work. Okay, bunch of different things. Okay, this is my grant. So, as you can see, during this deployment I actually download Lambda function, which I'm gonna to use as Lambda at edge, I guess. Let's see. Yes, I use it as Lambda at edge here. Okay, I just received a question. So what is the situation of deprecation provisioners? Well, they are actually deprecated in latest version of 0.13.4, but they are deprecated, but they are now managed by providers itself. So if you've been using them, you can still keep using them, but don't expect HashiCorp to do anything about them. So yeah, maybe I have this page somewhere around. No, I don't have it. Yeah, so while it's working, I can go to this here. 0.14, no, 0.13 has an explanation. So this is built-in vendor third-party provisioners. Habitat, Puppet, Chef, and Salt Masterless are now deprecated. You can go to this discuss page and see a little bit more information there. I checked this information not very long time ago, and it's kind of straightforward. If you go to documentation section here, you will see that provisioners are last resort. Well, and I think they will be lost for some time, but then they will be removed. And the reason for that is very well explained here. Solution here is also specific to your cloud provider, how you can get rid of it. Who is actually gonna to maintain those provisioners? I don't really know, but I guess this does not happen overnight, so you still have some time to update your code. And if possible, you can use local exec and remote exec. They will be supported for quite a long time. Okay, so here I created this resource. I'm very happy now. If I now go to CloudFront, just to see that my CloudFront distribution has configuration for logs, where logs are. Yeah, delivery method, this is it. No, where is log? Yeah, logs grateful. Okay, here is this bucket, quite cool. And now if I go to S3, and I should see some changes. This UI changed so often that I really not able to follow when exactly things change. I think it is somewhere in permissions. No, access control list. Yes, here should be. So this one, yes. So this one is now allowed. So this is canonical user ID for CloudFront, and now CloudFront can deliver logs into this bucket. Well, that's pretty much it. I don't think I can go to this bucket because there are no real backends configured. But yeah, if I at least go to this one, it should raise some errors, and then these errors should be, yeah. I made 10 requests, so these 10 requests in about 15 minutes will be reflected in my S3 bucket. So that's how it is. Okay, I don't have to do anything here. Well, of course I can delete it right now, but I just want to see that these logs will actually be delivered. So I will just commit this code and say that that log. See, I answered my own question, which ACL to use for CloudFront, and the answer is there is no ACL, there is grunt. Added, or actually not added, but updated example for logs delivery. Well, git push, and that's pretty much it. Okay, what else do we have still? So this feature has been released and we don't have it anymore. It's kind of cool. There are still a lot of issues in this infinite list of issues which I need to go through. Let me find one of let's say semi-random. What is this one? Okay, let's see. Well, outputs IAM role ID for ECS. I was recently very much surprised that there are users of this module. No, really, this module is so small, and it's like, honestly, I have not used it myself, probably like never, or maybe I used it when I created it, but not after that. So yeah, it was about at least 16 months ago. And what this module does is just create an ECS instance profile with some configurations here. That's it, nothing else. Yeah, so it can attach some policy IRNs to itself, and that's it. Well, pretty boring module to my opinion, but I see that people like these small things and they use it quite extensively themselves. So that's good. So let me look into this source code and see what we can do here. Again, this module is from November 2019. Well, we are almost there. We need to wait for a little bit more than a month. So slightly increases the versatility of the module by including the IAM role ID in outputs. One can add other policy attachment to IAM role outside. Well, yeah, exactly. So that's the point. This module should output things which are gonna to be used outside of it. So what we can do here? First, we need to somehow resolve conflicts. And actually, I don't understand why there are conflicts, because this module has not been touched for a very long time. Okay, so there is SSM managed instance core, as well as CloudWatch logs full access. Well, I guess these two things are actually needed. So if it is include SSM, then yeah, okay. So include SSM role to this profile. That's pretty good idea. Let's see. Just before I forget, is there anything? Yeah, cool. So CloudFront delivered actually some logs into this bucket. So mission accomplished. I can now destroy this CloudFront and say thanks to it. Okay. CloudFront is really a cool service, I have to say. I was always amazed with this service, and now when I have a little bit closer relations to AWS, I have pretty good like information how things are going to be developed further, and how this service future looks like. I'm really amazed with amount of cool things which are going to happen there. Okay, while it's doing something, what I can do, yes, I can look into this module in the browser. So here main is pretty boring. We have modules, right? So this is a place where things added. Right, so right now we have just two things, container service and CloudWatch. So we definitely can add more things here. So I'm gonna to look into this in UI, which I very seldom do, but sometimes it's just faster. I mean, resolve conflicts is easier to do here. And now if I mark as resolved, because it is actually resolved, I understand update master. Well, what other options do I have? Merge master into master. Thanks GitHub. Okay, so here is it. If I now go to the source code of this ECS module, and I need to wait a little bit for my for this to happen, but I can run it here. Git pull. Because in this window CloudFront distribution is being deleted, so that's why I cannot do much in terminal right now, but okay. Okay, another thing here I see quite immediately is that this module has so it is missing outputs description, which I should add as well. I will add this in this pull request. I don't think it's going to be a bad idea. So here we have something. Oh no, I need to. Okay, I can open another terminal here. Just ECS. PR checkout 13. So in this case I can now put all of this content here. So if I run this code now, it will probably complain a lot about missing bits and things here and there, so I will put some files like variable versions tf here. Probably this is good setup, maybe not so, like 2.0 is enough, because we are not using anything here what is so new. Yeah, so this error message happens because lambda function at edge cannot be deleted before it is deassociated with CloudFront. Why it's not being deleted even now? Well, I run into this problem quite often. It is related to the way how Terraform look at dependencies. But I wonder why I cannot delete it now. I managed to delete it many times yesterday with exactly the same flow. Okay. Let's see one more time. Well, it cannot be deleted. Interesting. Okay, I will look into this slightly later. Let's go back to this ECS. It's going to be last pull request, which I look into today. So this, I don't need this window here. So now if I run auto update, there is nothing to update. If I run, it should tell me that a lot of things are missing and I need to fix it. Well, I need to fix it, I know. So I go to versions and put versions everywhere in examples. And then inside of what is it, variables tf should also be there, because it's important that this file is there, but who cares that it's empty? Well, nobody cares. If I go to this one, I need to description this ECS cluster ID of ECS cluster. Isn't it obvious? An ARN of ECS cluster. The name of ECS cluster. Well, okay. Good. So now it is complaining about right, module name must match. I really like this snake case examples. I will definitely fix it right now. So let me look into how this can be fixed actually, because in some situations, like if this is already used in examples, that's okay. We can safely change it anywhere. Yes, it is here. But if it would be exposed to outside world, then we cannot change it so easily, because for people it will require break and change. Okay. Good. So what else is missing? Some variables file should be present inside of. Oh yeah, right. I put it in wrong place. It should be here, and then there should be a file called outputs.tf, which is not really needed, but for the sake of like, because this is just what tflint asks, so we can make it outputs.tf. Well, good, empty file. What else we have here? Outputs variables. Yeah, I think it's better now. Missing version constraint. Yes, this is a versions constraint for AWS we have, but for what other provider we have here? Template somewhere. This template, yeah, template. So which version of template do we have? Well, I don't really know, but I think it is about 2. Okay, and the last thing is that yeah, this outputs also has to have, no, this outputs has to have okay. Oh, this is not from, okay, this is ID of the IAM role, and this is description ID of the IAM instance profile. Okay, good. This one is missing version constraint for required. Well, let's see. Let's run one more time to clean it up. Okay, so it says hello world. Okay, so I need to put empty outputs and empty versions into this one because tflint think this is a module. Right, ECS. Okay, now it works as expected because there are all files added into this one. Okay, so now let's look into what this person was trying to add, and let's see how good is it. Well, I don't know why people do this. I know that you can save 2 bytes there, so congratulations, you just saved 2 bytes here. Why? I have no clue. Whether to include policies needed for Amazon SSM. Okay. So, especially taking into account that there were things in quotes. Why remove these quotes here? I don't know. Okay, this resource is created conditionally. So Amazon SSM managed instance core. Okay, and in output we are outputting just role. So role is always created, right? Yes, role is always created. Okay, yeah. So this change was extremely small and very easy. When I see something like, of course, I don't know all of them by heart, and if I'm gonna to apply this, it will not actually tell me much about what is it, like where it is actually used. So I tend to go to documentation way often and see what kind of things are actually there. And I see that this is valid policy IRN, so which is good. Last thing which I have to do right now is at least run Terraform plan, or at least init, and let me check what exactly is going to happen. Right, so it's going to create autoscaling group of different size with some resources created. Okay, looks pretty scary. I don't want to wait here, so I will just say that desired capacity 0 and minimum size is 0. Like what I'm really willing to check is that infrastructure resources are created, and honestly I don't care about how ECS is configured at this phase. There are 30 resources which are going to be created, including VPC, which probably is about 15 resources for this example. Cool, and not gateway is here, which we started with. So now if I created this one, it will also create not gateway, which is okay. It will take a little bit of time, but then at least I will have pretty good understanding of how things are created. And also I can verify that there are no logical errors, because it just work. Nothing new here. Okay. Okie dokie. So I think I can just wait for this thing to be created, and then I will merge it, and that's pretty much it. So on that note, I think we can conclude this stream. Thanks everyone for watching this, and hopefully you find it useful, or maybe even your pull request was merged. Then I think it's double win. If there are still some things which you want to be like processed or reviewed, or do something about it, feel free to reach out to me through pull requests. Maybe your pull request will be next. And also, please don't hesitate to give me any feedback, because I have no clue how useful was it, or maybe I used to jump over from different things to like not related things which you all know, or maybe and like any feedback is actually useful. I cannot guarantee that I will listen to your feedback, honestly, but you're welcome to give it. Okay, here is it. By the way, it has created successfully. So if I now apply this one, it's gonna to be no changes here, I believe. So on that one, I should be able to destroy this now and merge pull request. Yes. Okay. On this final note, I click Terraform, destroy, -force. Thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye.